Right, and Nigeria's credit reporting system is believed to have seen some improvement since some of the advent of fintech, as credit bureaus now record increased profiling of borrowers. Our channel's television business producer Temple Ashaju pulled aside the chairperson of the Credit Bureau Association of Nigeria, Mrs. Jamela Sharif Ayodu, during the visit of her team to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and she confirms this development.
Well, we are hopeful to be able to get the word out that on Friday, November the 1st, the Credit Bureau Association will be holding our 6th conference. And it's going to be a conference and a concert this year. For the last 5 years or 5 conferences, we've been speaking directly to the lenders, telling them about the credit reporting system and that this system is available for them. This year is our first year to go directly to the consumer and to the borrower and to the businesses that are the recipients of finances, of those funds and of those loans. And so we want to be able to create this platform for them to be able to know that this ecosystem of credit reporting is here in Nigeria. It's centuries old in other countries, but in Nigeria it's been around for 16 years, and it is here to empower each and every person. It is good to be a part of Nigeria today. If you think back 16 years ago, the difficulty in getting access to credit is hard to even imagine. Today, you can pick up your phone and get a loan, but it's a system that's now allowing for that to happen, and people need to be aware of it. Because if you take credit, you have to be accountable with it. And if you default on those loans, that can actually hinder you from getting future access to credit, no matter how small. And so we want people to know that the system is here to empower them and to grow their access to credit over time. So by getting into the credit reporting system or into a credit bureau system, once you get a loan, make sure you honor those obligations, be accountable to those funds that you're receiving, because the next opportunity will come and you will be able to get more access to credit if you've done well with the credit that you've had before.
The focus of your conference this time is on the consumer retail space, as you hinted. Is that being informed by the level of increase we've seen in social investment programs, especially from the federal governments like the AYOWO and the Trader Money?
Yes. We want to make sure that this I'm going to say access to credit is done in the right way. Right? And so we know that lenders, they have to have confidence when they give that money out. And if we are not utilizing the system correctly and the non-performing loans begin to rise, then the confidence of the financial sector is going to disintegrate. And so the likes of your AOOs, which is a fantastic service that's made available, and all of the others that are also available today, they need for their customers to know that once you get access to their funds, you need to pay it back, because that system enables other people to get access to funds. So, it takes one bad apple to spoil the whole bunch, right? So by people being accountable when they get that money, it makes it easier for everyone else to get access to credit. So this conference is going to enable people to get access to their credit report, to be able to understand what's in those in that credit information, understand what a credit score is all about. Also be able to speak directly to online lenders. We're going to have a master class for online lenders in addition to the discussions with the credit bureaus. So those online lenders would talk about all the things that they look for in a good borrower and why they are really in business to be able to extend more credit to them. And then following the session of the master class, we're also going to have an exhibition hall. That exhibition hall is going to allow for the SMEs to be able to go there and figure out from A to Z, what does it take for me to be able to get my business up and running. If you haven't registered, you'll have the opportunity to find out information about that and even make that happen. National IDs, to FIRS, to getting counseling sessions, finding mentors to be able to help you through this journey as a small business. I'm a small business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. And so this resonates directly to my core when it comes to what does it take to make a small business happen. As an entrepreneur, it takes, of course, grit and determination to make a business work, but it also takes finances. And while we come with the passion and the energy and the vision to be able to make our businesses work, we do need that help when it comes to finances. And so, like I said, this touches me directly to my core, and I really want to see this, I'm going to say accelerate here in the country of Nigeria. And so that's why we're a part of it.
There must have been a lot of paradigm shifts in your space in recent time, but exactly what do you think is changing in credit reporting today?
I think we should absolutely actually give a lot of this credit to the Central Bank of Nigeria. They have, I think, taken a bull by the horn to say that this is the way they want the economy to be able to grow. They realize that, limiting or having a limited access to credit will not be able to allow for the economy to grow the way it should. And so they're working with lenders. They also regulate us as bureaus. There's 3 private credit bureaus. So Credit Registry is one. We also have First Central Credit Bureau and CRC Credit Bureau. And so they regulate our industry as well. And so pushing us to be able to give access to the scores that the bureaus have, access to the credit information that bureaus have. This is coming directly from the governor's office and the deputy governor of FSS as well. And so we really have to commend her for her work, as well as to our director of banking supervision, who is he's going to be a speaker at our conference this year. We're really excited to have his office represent the drive that the CBN is pushing in this industry. And you will see that lenders are now opening up their doors and their mobile applications and everything to say, hey, come and get funding. Now, with that, I'm going to say opportunity that's extended to us as a borrower, we need to take it seriously, right? While those funds are being given out, these are funds that are coming from depositors, and we're also depositors, which means that the funds are not free. They are coming with the sense that there has to be interest paid on it, and that it has to be paid on time as when due. And so if we don't take that seriously, we can create a system that's actually going to fail us. And we want a system that's going to outlast us. We want our next generation to be able to grow and have access to these types of credit opportunities in the future. And this is the story that I believe that this kind of originated with. You can take someone who's a Nigerian from here and put them into an advanced, developed country anywhere else in the world, and they can build a life that is going to be a great standard of living for themselves. They can get access to a loan to get a car, to get a home, to get an apartment, and they can do exceptionally well, get employment, and they become a part of a system where they're actually rewarded for the good behavior that they exhibit in that financial system. Yet in Nigeria, that same Nigerian doesn't necessarily always have that kind of opportunity. Well, we've changed it. We've changed it. In Nigeria, every hardworking Nigerian who needs access to credit now has access to credit. And now it's within our own control as a borrower. We have the power to determine if we're going to continue in that path of getting access to credit that's affordable, or if we're going to throw it away by not honoring our obligations. So I behoove and encourage everyone, when you do take that first line of credit, to do right by it, because credit is a lifelong journey. And if we do well by it, it will continue to do well by us.
So the central bank's loan-to-deposit ratio requirement of 60-65% of deposits of banks, what sort of difference do you think that regulation or directive is bringing to the lending space today?
We are open for business for these lenders. We've have systems, sophisticated technical systems that have been designed for this type of growth in the market. Credit Registry, when we came into the market in 2003, you look at the population of this country and we're saying, we have to design a system that's going to be able to support that kind of growth. So it's there. We have everything from the ability to do the analytics on the data, to provide the scoring for lenders to be able to make quick, fast decisions in nanoseconds, right? It doesn't even take long at all, because that information has already been if you will, analyzed, and we know the credit behavior of the population that's getting access to credit. So it is, the bureaus were open for business. So we, in my company, we say the more you do, the better the better the whole economy will be. So we're ready for it.
Now, do you think that directive has improved the credit reporting rate on the part of banks?
Yes, I would say that across all the bureaus, and I'm speaking from a chairman perspective of the Credit Bureau Association, we touch over, I would say, over like 2,000 customers across the board who are reporting data to the bureaus. Now, the thing that we do stress on, at least we want to have complete information, correct information, and current information. That is so critically important when it comes to us reporting on the behavior, the financial behavior of someone. And so we encourage all of those who are providing data to the bureaus to not let there be any hiding place. I mean, there's no advantage to reporting to just one bureau and not the other. If you're reporting, across the board, then that makes sure there's no hiding place and that everybody who wants to get access to credit, who has information out there, it is being readily available for a lender to make an informed decision. And so this, again, it only helps the consumer, the borrower, just like me. That I'm a consumer first before anything else, so yes.
You're here in the Nigerian stock market where you have traders, dealers on the floor of the exchange. And of course, some 10 years ago, we used to have something called margin lending. Should we have a reintroduction of margin lending in the market in such a way that the brokers can approach banks, borrow money from them, and then reinvest in securities? After all, today we have bonds, we have treasury bills, we have exchange-traded funds.
I think, hindsight, we should take it into consideration and learn from it, right? So I think, there are risks that you take everywhere. And stocks is just one area of risk that you have to take into consideration. But I believe that, the path that we're traveling right now, which I think is a much better path because there's more, if you will, division of who's getting access to funds. When you give it directly to the consumer, you have millions of them. Even if 1% defaults, you're still doing exceptionally well as a lender. And so I think by really taking the funds and giving it directly to the people, like I said, you and me, it can help us better ourselves to be able to utilize those funds in ways that can improve our businesses, our small businesses. When our small businesses do better, we employ people.